I'm here to talk about the assault weapons knife ban. Since many people want to ban firearms, why end there? We should also ban assault knives. More people in this world are stabbed to death than shot from a firearm. We already have the stepping stones in place. Already states legislate the size of knives that can be carried. Many Americans have legislation in place, or they believe they have legislation in place, making switchblades illegal. This weapon is a switchblade, something that only a 1950s gangster would use to commit crimes and murder people. Let's define an assault knife. It's important to understand the differences between a knife and an assault knife. This is a knife. These are assault knives. In 1994, for assault weapon legislation, we were able to ban certain weapons by name. We should be able to do the same with the K-bar and K-bar style knives because in the eyes of the law, their sole function is to kill people. This is a spring-loaded projectile style knife. All spring-loaded and projectile style knives need to be made illegal. In 1994, rifles with certain features became assault rifles. Knives with certain features are assault knives. The compass in this knife allows one user to actually go and hunt down and track a human target. Therefore, it needs to be made illegal. In 1934, we started banning composite weapons. This is a composite weapon. It has a device known as a brass knuckle built into its handle, which can be used to kill someone. The blade has holes drilled into it, making it lighter, which makes it easier to do quick fury strikes and kill a human target. It's definitely an assault knife. This imitating piece of machinery is a butterfly knife. It needs to be banned. Hollywood is a great source of information when it comes to weapons technology. The movie Machete showed us how dangerous machetes can be. They need to be made illegal. All those who use a machete must find new jobs, because after all those who work with firearms are going to have to find new jobs when we make them illegal. The United Kingdom has a good series of laws. It's virtually impossible for one to own a firearm. Those who still own firearms have to have them locked up in shooting ranges. They cannot bring them home, and the amount of rounds which they fire needs to be recorded, because we need to look out for who could be a murderer. The same needs to be done with butcher's knives. They need to be locked up, you cannot bring them home, and every time one makes a strike, it needs to be recorded. We can set up a new government agency, or we can just further expand the BATFE, because right now the United States is in a state of unemployment. If you happen to find a knife that you can still carry, you need to get a permit for it, because we already permit firearms. On the left you see knives. On the right you see assault knives, which must be banned. Legislation. If we cannot get this legislation passed by the Congress, we have other methods. We can have the president just sign an unconstitutional, secret executive order just like a dictator. After all, it's not like presidents have been doing this for years. Why not just have the UN step over the sovereignty of independent nations and impose world law? Hitler would love to have the ability to declare world law without any election or public approval. In fact, if he just knew about the UN, he would never need to fire a single round. You cannot run anywhere if you have a world government. Ladies and gentlemen, what you just saw was a very real and very scary scenario, even though it was a parody. If you look at the real legislation on the books in many states, it's illegal to even own these type of knives, though it's not enforced. You see, politicians use scare tactics to get certain agendas passed, not just with assault weapons, but just general legislation altogether. It's something to think about. I mean, years ago, no one would have ever thought that you could actually make guns illegal. Just like still to this day, it's hard to imagine that certain types of knives can be made illegal. They're tools. But yet, that's the agenda people are pushing. Take care for now.